Stop that, Cynthia, Arthur Greenway would mutter every fewer minutes as the interviews wore on. Damn it, Cynthia, you're driving me crazy. Cynthia's hands would unclench for a moment, and Arthur would disappear into the fluorescent-lit kitchen. Imogen would be left sitting alone with Cynthia, who would try to smile and say, "You have to excuse Arthur. He's taking this very badly." The same words every time. Then Arthur would come back, eyes glassier, reeking slightly more of scotch, and the scene would begin again. Imogen had visited the Greenways 5 times to interview them about their daughter after she was killed, in the hopes of getting information that could help them catch the killer before he struck again. The last time she arrived, Cynthia Greenway opened the door by herself. She had a black eye. "You'll have to excuse Arthur today," she said with the same glued-on smile. He had to go." The woman had collapsed, sobbing, into her arms. Imogen had called Child Services and the Welfare Department and listened to Cynthia explain over and over until she was dizzy that Arthur had not meant to push her, that she hit her eye when she fell. When Louisa's minister came, a woman no older than herself, Imogen had left guiltily. Guilty for how glad she felt to leave, guilty that she never wanted to go back. She realized now as she stood on the top step listening to Benton's motor running on the street below and waited for the door to open that she was terrified of what she would find. "Loverboy's making a family," Benton had said, and she thought he was right, but he could just as easily have been trying to destroy one. How does a family recover from losing a loved one? How could a family recover from something like Loverboy? When Arthur Greenway opened the door, she almost did not recognize him. Instead of asking her in, he stepped outside the house and closed the door behind him. She was looking at him, but his eyes seemed unable to find her. "Before you go in, Miss Page, there is something I want to tell you. Cynthia and I," he looked at her now. "Thank you for helping her last year. I just went crazy with all this. I'd never done anything like that to her before, and..." He shook his head and his cheeks went red, but not from drinking. "I want you to know that I'm getting help now. We all are. But mostly I wanted to thank you. I don't know what she would have done that day without you." Imogen was stunned. Arthur Greenway blurred in front of her as her eyes filled with tears. She hoped like hell Benton was not watching. "You are welcome. I'm so glad that you are working things out." Arthur nodded. "Me too. What is a family for if not to help survive something like this? It's the most important thing. I can't believe I almost let it go." He looked away politely as Imogen wiped her eyes on her coat sleeve. "Guess we better go inside. They are waiting for you." They were Cynthia Greenway and the twins, Neil and Billy. They were all standing in the living room just off the foyer, motionless, when Imogen stepped in. Cynthia Greenway broke the tableau, brushed forward and hugged her. Imogen, only a little stiff, hugged her back. This was hardly the same woman she had met the previous summer. They put her in the seat of honor opposite the couch. There was a dab of furniture polish between the molding and the glass inlay on the coffee table, and Imogen was sure they had cleaned the house for her arrival. She did not think anyone had ever done that for her before. She dragged her eyes from it and looked at the Greenways in front of her. Cynthia and Arthur were holding hands. Why did everything make her want to cry that morning? Cynthia spoke first. "I wanted to call you so many times, to tell you thank you, but..." Imogen shook her head. "You have nothing to thank me for. Whatever has happened, you two have done it." "We four," Arthur corrected, smiling at the twins sitting on the floor next to the coffee table. "Your office asked if the boys could be here, and anyway, they wanted to see you too. We let them stay out of school this morning." Imogen was at a loss. She sat in the tall-backed guest of honor chair and wished she were anywhere else than at the center of this kind circle of people whose happiness she was going to shred by bringing up something they were better off forgetting.